Hey there, guys. This is Flamzeron, aka YouTube's Tasuke, and this, as of October 20th, 2015, is my Tales of series game collection. I do this I used to do it yearly. Now I just do it whenever there's a big release in the series, generally globally release, like with Zestiria, because I was just going to wait for the English version to come out. And as you can see, I have the PS3 version, which, as I mentioned in the Mizuho channel uh, update video that I recorded, if you've seen that or not. If you haven't, that's fine, but you should definitely go subscribe to that channel. I'll try to remember to put in a link. But anyway, the reason why I have the PS3 version, I did that by choice. I know there's a PS4 and PC version out, but those two versions are ports, meaning that they're not like the original. And, regardless of who ported them, for all I know, Namco Bandai, or Bandai Namco, whatever they like to call themselves these days, could have ported the game themselves, but I just felt comfortable playing the original. And because, and there aren't really that many differences besides just graphic difference, and I think the PC version, you can kind of customize things a little bit more, whereas obviously with the PS4 and PS3 versions, you can't. But, yeah, that's why I have the PS3 version. And if you saw the My Tales history video that I did on this channel, I think it like last November, December or something. I showed you guys some of the other games that I had gotten at the time, like Exilia 2, Symphonia Chronicles, Hearts R, and Rave Unitia. And so I've thrown them into the picture. Rave Unitia I still haven't played yet. I am aware there's a way to play imported 3DS games using like some sort of like internet exploit. And I think there's another way to do it. At the same time, that I'll say this again and again, there shouldn't be any region locking in your console. I think it's just really stupid. Even if you have to trick the system, there should at least be a way. I don't know. If you ask me, you just shouldn't have it. And, nothing besides that. Not really anything majorly new. As you see next to the PS2 version of Destiny, I've got the director's cut that I got from AWA. The collection itself is, in general, coming fine. In terms of my completion, I'm missing just 2 games before I have a complete Tales collection. The 2 games I'm missing are Tales of the World, Narikiri Dungeon 2, and Tales of the World Summoner's Lineage. Both of them for the Game Boy Advance. The way I'm sort of doing my collection is that I'm doing it based on the Tales game itself, rather than trying to just get every single Tales game that's ever been released. Like if I ever made a list, like a checkoff list, I wouldn't include like every single one, because as you can see, I've got like multiples. Like I've got 2 Vesperias, I've got 3 Destinies, I've got 3 Symphonias, and 2 Eternias, all that. But the way I'm, like, for example, I'm just trying to get like one of each Tales game in terms of the collection. Like for example, the first Fantasia that I got was the Game Boy Advance English version, so that one I'd count as like the quote unquote what's the word? Getting my quota for for Fantasia. That's the reason why I kind of stammered there, because I didn't want to say quote unquote quota. But and the same with Narikiri Dungeon Cross. As you see, I have that, but I don't have the original version on the Game Boy Color. I might pick that up just for the sake of having it in the collection. But yeah, since I have Narikiri Dungeon Cross, I'm counting that as the Narikiri Dungeon 1 quota. And of course, I am open to getting other games. Like as you see, I have Eternia on the PSP and Abyss on 3DS, and I've got both the original Hearts and Hearts R. I mean, with that's a language difference, but at the same time, even before the English version of Hearts R was announced, I was thinking about getting Hearts R, just for like the updates to everything they did and like the gameplay enhancements. Same with Tales of Destiny, in a way, where they're like the differences were just great enough for me to want to get it, like the with it being such a big remake, because Tales of Destiny being the second Tales game ever made, there was obviously a lot of stuff they needed to do in order to keep it up to date, quote unquote, with the other Tales games. I still want them to do a Tales of Eternia remake. I feel like that's probably the last one they, quote unquote, need to do. And even then, Eternia is not that outdated. It's more like just the complete bare minimal of what makes a Tales game in terms of the gameplay. Obviously, I've been thinking about this a lot while playing Zestiria, but like I feel like Vesperia was like the last quote unquote classic Tales game, because it seems like these days the newer Tales games are trying to like be different and whatnot. And for those wondering, I do plan on picking up Tales of Berseria. Gonna be getting it on PS4 because even though they say even though they said it's being made on PS3 and PS4 and they're releasing it for both, it's very clearly a PS4 game, people. I don't know why I'm phrasing it as if people have been arguing otherwise, but if you look at the screenshots that you find online from like Famitsu or Abyssal Chronicles or whatever, you can tell just by looking at it that they're either showing the PS4 version deliberately or they're focusing on the PS4 version. And I'd imagine it's probably both. But yeah, that's my Tales collection. Again, I have Fantasia Super Famicom out of its box because I can actually play it. Now, I actually took out the tabs on my Super Nintendo so I could play imported games without having to like put it through some converter thingy. Because the one that I had would like really stick to the games, and I was worried that if I would pull too hard, it would break the game. And these aren't games that you can easily replace, even if it was an English game. At this point, the games would be too hard to find. But yeah, that's the. I will say I do have the boxes, which I will show you guys because actually, instead of just showing you guys my Tales collection, the game collection, I'm going to show you guys my actual merchandise collection. Wow. Yeah, this is as of November 20th, 2015, because actually I got some extra stuff, but what I'm showing you guys right now, and the commentary, my commentary won't match up with the pictures because I'm recording the commentary separately, and I'm not gonna like deliberately try to match it up. But I will include I will include the album on my a link to the Imgur album on my Imgur account. So if you just want to like just look at the pictures and sort of analyze them, you can. If you have any questions in the comments, or if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Yeah, I'm tired, but so yeah, with this one, it was difficult for me to show everything. As you see, I tried to include as much as I could, and I even forgot some stuff, which is why there are multiple pictures. But yeah, so I included the collector's edition boxes, and obviously because I got Zestiria on PS3 and I'm in North America and I couldn't get the collector's edition because I didn't want the fucking PS4 version. I wanted the movie, but and you'll see in the corner on the left of the Tales of Exilia 1 collectors, you'll see the Tales of Destiny Director's Cut Premium box. That's basically the collector's edition of the Japanese side of things. In Japan they had like several for like Exilia 1, 2, and Zestiria, I believe. Most of my merchandise collection, I find, is in like three categories. Either I bought it online or at an anime convention. 2, I got it from the collector's edition, the North American collector's edition. Or 3, I got it from any of the Japanese pre-order bonuses, because they would include some stuff like you'll see like right really like under Exilia 2 and the Symphonia Chronicles collector's boxes, you'll see a couple of DVDs, one of them having Leon, Luke, and Jade. Those are the Tales, the quote-unquote Tales of Gummy DVD sets, which is like promotions for different Tales games at the times. There's one for Radiant 2. I believe I have the one for Radiant Mythology 2, Hearts, the original, Tales of Verses, and some other one. And then I've got the one with Leon on the front that you see next to the Tales of the Abyss DVD. That was for like a Tales Festival thing. I think that might have been like the first or second Tales Festival, and that was from Tales of Fandom Volume 1, which also included the Tales of My Shuffle cards, which, as you can see, for those who have that as well, you might be thinking that's way too many cards. Well, I actually found a guy on eBay who was selling like an entire retailer box full of like packs, and I just bought that. But and speaking of stuff next to each other, the Tales of the Abyss DVD you see there, it says 2 on like the corner, so it's volume 2. That's the Bandai Entertainment set that they did. It's a 4-part DVD set of the Tales of the Abyss anime. It's an official release, subtitled only. Not in the best quality. Truth be told, based on like the news articles, it kind of sounded like they were just releasing it in English just because they could. It's like, oh, we should release some more stuff from Sunrise. Oh, hey, Tales of the Abyss, let's get that. Though obviously, if people have been keeping up with Tales news, they'll know that Funimation picked up the Tales of the Abyss anime. Though we haven't heard anything about their efforts, and they tend to be kind of scarce with things. Like, they tend to kind of take their time. I remember the King of Thorns dub. They just took forever, even though they say, hey, we've done it, but, And next to that is the Tales of Destiny Director's Cut arranged soundtrack that came with the premium box. And then, we've got soundtracks over there. You'll see the Ash the Bloody manga. That was released around the same time as Abyss 3DS and the Abyss anime. It was sort of like an Abyss time for that. They released like a bunch of Abyss merchandise. And that's actually a pretty good manga. It really goes into the story of Ash pretty well, and the art looks nice as well. I mean, I think it's done by someone who, I think they were trying to mimic the anime look. I think it was an anime manga adaptation, but it's pretty good. And the other manga they were going to bring over actually got canceled. And of course, to the right of Volume 2 of the Abyss, the Ash the Bloody manga is the Tales Fantasia DVD, anime DVD by Geneon. So I'm one of those people who got that release. I know Funimation picked it up after Geneon went kaput, but I'm pretty sure the Fantasia DVD period is just out of print. You can probably find it on like eBay for like really high prices, but yeah. It'd be nice if Funimation would release the Blu-ray. I feel like that's something they should do. Release it on Blu-ray, because there is a Blu-ray release of the anime, so it's not like one doesn't exist. I know probably the most peculiar item will be the one directly under the Tales of Exilia 2 steelbook, like the metal casing is that Eternia thing. That's actually a PC thing. It's called the Tales of Eternia desktop accessories, and that's something that I've wanted for a while, mainly just because it had like a Windows version of WIS, which I can't figure out how to work. I don't even think I can run it on this Vista Windows 7 laptop. I need to figure out how to word correctly. But and that also came with the box. That was given to me by a friend. I say a friend, a Moontune. So thanks again if you're watching this, Moontune. But there was a contest on Tales of Reservia, which is a remnant, quote unquote, of the Tales series forums. Basically, all the people who bothered carried over from there, and that's basically what the forum is. So, I mean, obviously, there's the official Namco forums now, where a lot of people are also on there. Nowadays, it just seems like people do their own thing. I still kind of miss my 4,000 post count, but I'm close with the Mizuho forum. So, at any rate, you got a bunch of figures. The ones I'm probably the most proud of, besides obviously Mila and Luger, is the Creston, Kratos, and Flynn ones. The One Coin Grande figure set. Those were like the really early Tales figures they did. I think they actually stopped at Vesperia before they went on to doing the Kotobukiya / Altair / fucking whatever. Still no action figures, and I find that very strange, but Um, though I will know that the Leon in like the corner next to Emil under the Mila figure, that's actually a Nendoroid. So that one's at least a little articulate. I actually have a second one of it because it broke, so I had to get another one. But yeah, so Cress, Kratos, and Flynn I bought at AWA. Ston I actually bought from Play Asia in in a box, so I actually didn't know I was getting him. And I'm aware that there's a Judas figure. I want to get that. I want to get Leon as well. I'm not too concerned with the bigger figures. I know that seems to be like the one that most people get, but and I do have two Reed keychains. One of them is it's kind of hard to see. One of them is one of them is like a little tiny like actual figurine. I also have a Lloyd one next. The Reed one I actually have on my key ring with like my keys and my dorm key and like all my other keychain stuff. And I think there's another one that's really hard to see, and I apologize for that. In fact, I might even just include it separately just so that people can actually see it. But I have sort of like the chibi design for Reed that I got at AWA. The one where there's like where it's in like the style for like a bunch of different characters. But yeah, and I'll include that one as well for those who want to see it, just for shits and giggles. Heck, I've had to take a million pictures. In fact, this whole collection was so large that I had to take a bunch of pictures. And I do, as you can see as well, I've got, the Tales of Eternia manga volume 1. I want to get the rest. I think when I eventually learn Japanese, when I decide to actually try, which will be like a million years, I think that'd be a nice way to sort of like test myself as well as sort of enjoy something in a completely different language. And just for shits and giggles, I included the Vesperia strategy guide, which I'm now just realizing that I have the Legendia one as well. I kept thinking, don't I have another one? I'm pretty sure I have more than one strategy guide. Okay, so that'll be another thing that I throw in. Like, even as I record the final video, I'm still forgetting stuff. It's really kind of pathetic, if you ask me. But the collection I've been pleased with, and of course it's ever growing. I don't particularly try to collect a bunch of Tales stuff. I feel like at this point I have what I wanted, and even then, if I were to try to collect, I would probably go for the action figures the most. Like, I have a little bit of a plan to get the Leon one. I want to get Lloyd as well, and if they make a Reed one, I'd like that as well. I saw that they did a one for Merity, I think, and so yeah, just a bunch of different stuff. Not stuff that people haven't seen before, I'm sure. The only non-collector's edition art book I have is the Abyss one. And of course, it's actually pretty different from the ones in the collector's edition because they actually have like a bunch of interviews and text, obviously in Japanese, but, Yeah, so, yeah, and that's pretty much it. I mean, obviously I did forget some stuff like the Rolo plushie thing, and I also forgot this one little tiny thing that people probably didn't see or probably don't even know about. It's this Radiant Mythology 3, what do you call it? Film still. It's basically just like film of a scene from, I think, one of the anime cutscenes, not the opening, of Kanono with like the doobly dabble all over her face. I imagine I'm not taking care of it at all, and it's just like it's like a super tiny collection piece, and as you've seen in other videos, I have the Lloyd poster, which is currently on my wall, and I've also got the Mila poster, which is on my wall, which also happens to be next to a part of the wall that has Mighty Putty in it because I don't know. In terms of new stuff, which is why I date this at November 20th, 2015, is because I actually got a Tales of Zestiria poster from a magazine. I was shopping with my mom on November 20th at, like, I think Publix, and I was looking at the magazine section, and I noticed that they had, like, an updated one, and the latest Otaku USA, which is, like, the only nerd magazine they have at Publix anymore. And I saw like on the top, it's like free Sword Art Online and Tales of Zestiria poster. I'm just like, what? And so I was like, okay, I need to get this. Sorry, mom, but not that she mind, but I got it, and that's actually on my above my door now, so it's nice. And I'm pretty sure there was one for Exilia 2 as well. I don't know what I did with that one, but I'm pretty sure I have it as well. And also, as you'll see in this particular picture, first of all, sorry that it's not very good, but yes, I do have, you can see, yes, I do have the box for Fantasia, Super Famicom, and Narukiri Dungeon 3 as well, for that matter. And the one for the desktop accessories. As far as the other two in those pictures, the last one was the Narukiri Dungeon Cross dramatic DVD. That's what it says on the cover there. Doramumatic. I'm probably mispronouncing that, but dramatic DVD. And what's next to that is a copy of the script that they gave out as well. It was the last Japanese pre-order bonus I got, because at that point, like, the Tales series started to get more consistent with, or the more Tales games started coming out. I think obviously the only one I've imported since has been Rave United, which they haven't brought over, and of course if they do, that'd be funny. But so yeah, besides the two pictures that I actually need to take of, which is going to be the final one you probably see, being the Reed keychain that I know I included, but it's really going to be really hard to see, as well as the Legendia, Tales of Legendia strategy guide when I find it. I think that was also done by Brady Games. I think Prima did Zestiria, and I'm pretty sure they did Eternia as well, but I don't have the Eternia. So yeah, that's the collection. It's a nice collection. It's gonna expand, obviously, with Berseria coming out. If Fantasia, if they ever do a Blu-ray release of Fantasia, I'll probably get that just for the sake of supporting it and having the anime in really high quality. And if Funimation does a dub of Abyss, or even just like a higher quality release in like one collection, I'll probably get that as well and display that with my DVDs. And of course, if they get Tales of Zestiria, be it they somehow, I really would like to get the Dawn of the Shepherd Blu-ray, and because of that, I'm probably going to. That's my only reason for getting the collector's edition of the game. I don't have any particular desire, but I think that's pretty much it that I can think of. It's a nice series, and it's a nice collection as well. I mean, obviously my Dragon Ball collection destroys it, but that's a separate subject, and that series also has more to collect. So, I do want to try and get more of the One Coin Grande figures, particularly I'd like to get Lloyd and Leon and Judas if I can. I know Judas, that was like a secret one, I think. Like, you'd have to kind of search for that one. And at this point, the only place to really find them would be eBay, I think. Like, PlayAsia, they're not selling them anymore because they're out of print. But other than that, I don't know. I want to get that Tales of Memoria thing. That's actually kind of, I'd like to get that and like look at all the pretty pictures. But yeah, that's their tale. This is 23 minutes long. You got to hear me basically gush over this series again. But yeah, if you want to see the pictures on their own, there'll be a link to the album that I made for them on Imgur with all the pictures. And if you just want to like look at them and masturbate, if you want. But of course, I'm sure there's someone who has a bigger collection than I do. I remember someone when I think Radiant 2 or 3, I think it was Radiant 3, bought like 12 copies of the game and also got the tea set. So there are definitely fans who have more than me, but I'm proud of this collection. I've built it up, and I continue to let it grow until they stop making Tales games, which will probably make me cry. But yeah, that's that. This is Flamzar on aka YouTube Sasuke signing out. See you later.